Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the official Hermitcraft Modsauce server. Yes, this thing has been running overnight and there are a lot of villagers here. There's now up to 200. This is one of the things that happened on vanilla. I was expecting this. It does kind of go up over time. That's because it doesn't push all of the villagers through each time. So some of the baby villagers, they actually stay in that area. But I thought this was pretty funny. There's loads of love hearts and there's an absolute ton of hats because they are all, stacked together in the same area. But this thing's been running overnight, so now we can have a look at how much emeralds it is producing, because last time I got pretty negative about this thing. I think it was actually doing an alright job of making some emeralds, and look at that. That is probably quite a lot. 56. Okay, maybe not as much as I would have liked, but that is not too bad to be honest. But in that time I've been researching some new armor. I was interested in going to the Twilight Dimension, and Biffa mentioned that I should check out Ender.io. So you can see I've got the mod open here on the side, and this armor right here, if you hold down shift, it kind of tells you a little bit about it. So I do believe the way this works is you craft the stuff using dark steel, which is something that can be made. Let's have a look right there. So using an alloy smelter, you've got obsidian, coal, and iron. You can make dark steel, and then this stuff makes the armor. Now when you put this in an anvil with particular items, you can actually upgrade the stuff. You can see here you can have empowered or glider. I'm not sure what empowered does, but glider gives you a flying effect, which is pretty cool. And you can also infuse this thing with RF power as well. So you can see there it's got a whole bunch of RF power, and it says 75% damage absorbed by power, which is a really cool thing. Your armor takes a beating over time, and this way we can use RF power, which we are generating tons of. That's what our items over here. Our tools run off of. So it seems like a logical step to do something like this. Considering we're looking at Ender.io, I thought this would be a pretty good idea. So that's something we're going to look at doing this episode. But first of all, I have found out about something else in this mod which is really cool. So check this out. Powered spawner over here combined with a broken spawner in an anvil, and you can create a new spawner using that. So from what I understand, you can actually create any type of spawner you want using this mod. There is something here called the soul binder, and this is where I'm stuck at the moment. I would have made all of this stuff a while ago. This thing right here I can't seem to get at the moment, the Enderman head. Now Slip has 2 of these, however I couldn't get it with our cleaver, which we have in this bag right here. Where is it? That thing right there. So this has beheading, 60% chance, must have killed about 50 Endermen and didn't get a single head with that. So I do believe it works differently for this. And if I could see the sword, then I could show you. Is that it right there? Increase skull and ender pearl drop. So with this sword right here, I think we might actually get the skull that we need to create the soul binder. Now what's so cool about the soul binder is with one of these vials down here, you should be able to click on a mob and capture it and capture its soul, and then infuse it using the soul binder into a broken spawner. And apparently you get broken spawners just by breaking them with a pick. So that's something we're about to go and try in a minute. But this is something I've just been working on a little bit. If you look in my inventory here, you can see I've got some of the typical materials for Ender.io stuff, and that's because I've been trying to get through a little bit of the tech tree to get the right stuff up and running to do this. But this means, and this is the good bit, if we can infuse any type of soul into a spawner and create a spawner of any type, then we can just create a villager spawner and have it running right above the smeltery so they can drop in. And as well as that, we can also have a pig spawner and a horse spawner as well. So that allows us to make the pig iron meat. I'm not sure if we actually got round to doing that, but there is a type of liquid for pig iron. You can make it out of pigs, and one of the other ones is glue as well. And look at this, I did manage to find some horses. Slipgator helped me out with that. So we have a glue drum, we also have a blood drum set up. We just don't have enough of either stuff to add the filter to the filter pipe. So if ever this barrel gets emptied, then another material can end up going in there. So if we go up top, I can show you the horses that I found. Slipgator sent me some coordinates. I went to those areas. There were like 1 or 2 left in each area. So I'd like to get these guys bred up so we have lots of them. And we can even make a spawner out of them, possibly, it looks like. So if we go around the back here, you can see we've got 4 horses. I thought we had more than 4. That's kind of worrying. And I have some golden carrots for breeding them. Here's the thing. I couldn't get them to breed at all. They eat the carrots, but they don't seem to do anything with it. And also, if you look at the top right there, it tells you their jump strength and speed, which I thought was really, really cool, just being able to see that straight away. This guy is really fast. If I recall correctly, the top speed that they can actually have would be 0.3 or possibly 0.35 I can't quite remember what the base stat is, but that is very close to it right there. So that's really cool. A very fast horse. However, we don't really have any need for them with all the flying that we have here on the Modsauce. So anyway, the plan is to go through this tech tree and to create a spawner for a villager. And then once we've done that, we can look at the Ender armor a little bit closer. So the first thing we have to do is get a broken spawner and also get one of these swords and go kill some Endermen with it, which is what I'm going to do next. And that should be relatively easy to make. All we need for that dark steel is the coal and the obsidian. So I've got the pulverizer set up over here. We still don't have a room for this. You know how it goes with these mods. They take so long to play and do simple stuff that, you know, everything's still kind of just lying around like this, which is fine. I'll get used to it with time. So anyway, we're going to pulverize some coal and get all that stuff done. And I guess I'll probably record when we find a broken spawner and when we get our first Enderman skull as well. As you know, I do have quite a few zombie ones from doing the beheading. We can get them from skeletons and creepers as well, I reckon. So I might roam the night, roam the night. That was strange. Roam the landscape at night and kill a couple of mobs so we can get them as well. So, before we head off anywhere, I've just put the sword into here to see if perhaps upgrading it will help us with that increased skull and ender pearl drops. I don't think it does. This is a vibrant crystal, by the way. Let's actually craft another one of those because we're going to need two. This is how you make it with the vibrant alloy and an emerald. So it's a good thing we have loads of those emeralds. That's obviously what we're working on getting at the moment. But when you put this thing in right here, it only costs 10 levels. We're not going to rename it or anything. And now you can actually see what empowered means. That's when it gets the RF power. It starts off with 10,000 by the looks of it. So we saw down here the kind of maximum that you can get from that, which is empowered 4, which has 100,000 RF. And travel, hold shift and right click to teleport or activate a travel anchor or Ender IO. Okay, so when I first saw that, I had a feeling it might have something to do with being able to instantly travel. However, it looks like it relies on other stuff. So anyway, that's now going to use the RF power to absorb damage. That's cool. Or in this case, it's probably the durability of using it. And if we put in another one, it should cost 30 levels, except it's not giving us anything. So it says Ender Crystal. I thought that was a vibrant crystal. Okay, so I don't know what an ender crystal is. I'm going to assume it's probably one of these things over here. That is it right there. And that requires a soul binder. So, another use for the soul binder right there. That's good to know. And then we'll be able to upgrade it to the next level. And the other upgrade, by the way, was the basic capacitor, so that will take it up to 15,000 RF. Then it's the double-layered capacitor, so it's going to follow this tech tree right here, and then probably the octadaic, and they take a real long time to craft, so we're not going to go all the way through that today. So I'm guessing you go up to empowered 4, you can have travel as well, but that's going to be it. So we're going to upgrade that once more. And is this thing charged with RF? It isn't, so we know how to do that. Now we're going to fly outside here and chuck it into that little machine that we've got lying around here somewhere. There it is. I've been a little bit of a dummy here. I've put some vanilla enchantments onto the sword. I saw that you could do that, and I did it the old school way. So we got Soul Stealer and Unbreaking Free, which isn't bad. However, we can put our own enchantments on this thing, but it doesn't seem to work with the advanced enchanting table. And I didn't have one over there. I don't know where it went, but it disappeared. And so now what I want to do is just add those upgrades back on. Maybe we have to do that first. There we go, and then we go to the next level, where we can add that, and we'll add the power to this in a moment. And I just want to see if this thing actually works, because I couldn't remove the enchantments from this sword on this table. So if we chuck this thing in here, maybe it will allow us to assign our own ones. So sharpness would be good. Can we enchant that? This time it lets us. Okay, so this sword you can't unenchant, but this one you can. Maybe that's something to do with the RF power. This thing is now fully charged. So what else do we want on this sword? I'm not sure if any of these are going to affect the chance of the helmet breaking, the mob skull dropping, that's the one. Wow, I'm having a day with words today. Let's add unbreaking to it as well, and looting wouldn't be a bad thing either. Okay, I've now got what I came here for. You can see on my hotbar I've got 3 skulls of one type, 2 of another. It's really strange because the other day when I came here I couldn't get any of either type, and I was using the cleaver sword, and it wasn't doing damage well either. It was kind of like you were hitting them, but they'd only take damage every so often. You can see now I'm doing tons and tons of damage, getting loads of skulls from it, which is really cool. I also think a load of them are teleporting away, and it's raining at the moment. But one of the things this sword I think can do, or maybe it's one of the effects of the armor, is when you hit one of these Endermen, they won't teleport away again, which is cool. But this is a really great way to get skulls. This is from a different mod. That's really interesting that we only got it with this sword and not with the other one. And those guys are making a lot of noise. Let's turn this thing off now. As I said, we got what we came here for. It just occurred to me that we actually have a load of these back at base. They are stored on the diamond dollies and they're in a chest somewhere, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to pick some up while we're here. So when we break this thing, we should get a broken spawner. There it is. I was expecting something to go wrong there. You know, we have Silk Touch. We're using a pick from a different mod, but there you go. We got the broken spawner. And something that I forgot to mention about the Endermen, if we go to our hat screen, one of them the other day when I was getting them, I wasn't recording unfortunately, but they spawned with a particular hat type, googly eyes. Now, that is really ridiculous. But imagine an Enderman coming towards you looking like that. It was the most bizarre, silly thing I'd ever seen, and I burst into laughter. Anyway, I'm going to go around and break some more spawners. This one has been explored. This is the one near our old base. I think me and Biffa explored this one on like one of our first episodes here on the server. So it's nice to go back around this thing, but there are going to be loads of these everywhere. This is just a skeleton broken spawner. I wonder if the different mobs will use different ones. They don't seem to stack as well. They're both skeletons. So do we have a spider one? This is also a skeleton one. I guess we'll find out in a moment. Kind of doesn't matter what type they are because they don't stack. But there you go. It does remember what type it was before. So that one's a spider. But we're going to be able to infuse these with the souls of a different mob and actually be able to change the type. It's going to be so awesome. I'm going to pick up a whole bunch of them while I'm here. And I guess I'll meet you back over at the base. And we are back. We are all prepared now to make these spawners. You can see I got some vials in my inventory. Got one for a pig, one for a villager, and one for a horse, which is going to be awesome. I'm so pleased. This thing is going to be great, but obviously we're going to make it work first. So here is the soul binder. You can see I got the skulls. The skeleton ones I actually got a few of because I found them down in the dungeons on the wall, which is pretty cool. So anyway, that is our soul binder right there. Used to convert the type of broken spawner. That is awesome. I'm so pleased we can do this. I wish I'd have known about it a little bit earlier on. But anyway, let's plop it down over here. I'm going to assume it uses power. You can see it's charging up. That's awesome. And it also requires XP as well. That's right. So anyway, let's grab the villager one. Let's put a broken spawner, except I put them all away. So I need to go and grab 3 of those, I guess. This is the chest where I store those things. You can see down here. We've labelled actually using iron the name of the different types of spawners, so that's why iron goes into this chest, and I have to manually move it over here, which isn't too good. Anyway, I only picked out 2, we need 3, and what we're going to do to get the XP into here, and this might be a little bit tricky actually because these blocks are in the way. I guess I'll put it to the side. If we put a tank over here, and I don't have any other building blocks, okay, that'll be fine, that'll work. Kinda. You'll see what I'm going to do. We're going to have to remove some blocks to make this work. If we just attach that to the side and then put an XP train on top of it, then we can kind of stand on top of it for a second. So I'm going to have to remove this block right here, or I'll place that later. So easy to do. There we go. So now it's got some XP, although it might have not actually connected, or do we have to put that there first? Okay, it doesn't let me put the broken spawner in there. That's kind of worrying. Do I have to do something else first? Am I missing a step here? I think we might need to combine it with the powered spawner first. No, I have no idea what I'm doing, do I? Okay, right. Okay, kind of confusing. If I got the vial there, it doesn't let me put it in. If I remove the vial, put the broken spawner there, then it's okay. So it's the order. Okay, now I can't put the vial there, so maybe it's not. Well, this is a little bit worrying. I cannot put the villager one in there. That's the one that won't go in, but the pig or the horse will. I think maybe the villager that I selected wasn't a vanilla one, so that could be the reason why. I did hear someone say that you can't use this on non-vanilla mobs, so we will go and try that. We want to do the villager one first of all, but there you go. And I just noticed you can also use player XP as well, so we didn't need to pump this in. But it doesn't seem to actually connect to it because it says 0 out of 15. So we're just going to use player XP to do that. But first of all, let's see if we can get ourselves a vanilla villager and see if that is the problem. So I got me a vanilla villager. This guy right here though, he doesn't have vanilla trades. If you have a look here, he's got something else, which may be why it doesn't work. I don't really know at this point, and unfortunately I think it means we're going to have to knock this on the head because I tried it a moment ago and it wouldn't work. So what we can do is make the other types of spawners, just not the one for the villagers. So our breeder is still kind of useful at the moment. So if we grab the pig one, let's make that quickly. Use player XP. Did that actually do it? Oh, it takes a little bit of time. Okay. Quite a bit of time by the looks of it. And we're losing power. Why is that? That thing should be able to keep charge. Okay, I have been doing some mass crafting and I forgot some key ingredients, so I can't finish crafting it all, but we're going to be able to make what we need. First of all, some of you are probably slamming your heads into the desk because yes, I used a regular transfer node, of course. We need a liquid transfer node, and I'm still getting used to everything. You know, I'm starting to memorize a few crafting recipes, a few names of things, but it really just is something that I make silly mistakes like that on from time to time. So that puts the liquid XP in here, and you can see it's finished making our second one, which is the horse. The pig one is already done. So we're going to have a look at that in a moment. What I want to do right now, though, is get onto the armor. I've been crafting a bunch of stuff. For those of you that are familiar with this, you probably know exactly what I'm about to do. We're going to go through all of the upgrades. So I brought the system to its knees a little bit with some of this mass crafting. We're going to make loads and loads of these so we can have a stack of the archaic, I can't even say that, capacitors, the double layer and the basic ones, because I figured we use these quite a lot for different things and I always spend ages crafting them, so let's just do a big bulk craft. So to make these energetic alloys and the vibrant alloys, I had to put loads and loads of stuff in our smeltery system over there, and it used an absolute ton of RF and started to bring the whole thing down, which was pretty cool to see. It kind of shows you the bandwidth that we have over there. So we do need more energy for all of those, but the thing that I am actually missing over here is some coal powder. Totally forgot to make this stuff, kind of bit of a brain fart there, and yeah, let's just grab that so we can go and make some of this so we can actually do the upgrades for our armor. So the idea is obviously to mass craft this stuff, but we're only going to take a bit for now. There we go. So that should be enough to do. Yeah, that's definitely enough because there's only 4 pieces of armor, although we're doing the sword as well. And all of these are going to have vanilla enchantments on as well, so they're going to be even better than what they're going to be with the things that they have. That'll all make sense in a second. Let's just craft each of the bits of this, and we have just enough room in our inventory. Yes, inventory management is a little bit crazy on this game. So let's start off with the helmet. This has some really cool features. We need the vibrant crystal first of all, and then that gives it the empowered upgrade. So we have the RF and the damage absorption. So you can see there is a sound locator and night vision. So let's try those first of all. We're just going to add both of them. That's the sound locator is a note block, and night vision is a potion of night vision. It's probably not going to be night right now, which would be typical, and I'm not sure if it's running by default. So let's go up to the surface and have a look. Oh, look at that, it's going dark. So if I remember correctly, you press P. That brings up something else. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. And I is the other toggle. Maybe the hotkeys aren't assigned correctly. Let me see if they're assigned. We've got a little bit of tick lag as well. Okay, so these weren't signed anything by default, assigned even. So I'm going to remember this left bracket, I and O, or 0 even, and minus. But the two that we want right now are night vision and sound locator, so that's left bracket and I. And I've forgotten which way around they are already. Ooh, it makes a cool sound as well. Okay, cool, so we can turn on night vision on and off. That's absolutely awesome. That's going to be incredibly useful. And my mic probably just made a noise. Let's go and see what the base looks like down below with that on, because it's probably going to change how it looks quite a bit. Very bright in here, actually. Yeah, I guess the whole lighting aspect goes out of the window, and look at that. I haven't seen the place like this before. That is very cool. Okay. That's going to be quite useful for working on things, I think, from time to time. That's really cool. Okay, and the other one was, well, I've forgotten already, the sound locator. So now we can see the sound locator is active, and we know where sound is going to be, right over here. Oh, look at that, it makes little note block noises. Well, that's really cool, that is. That's very useful. I'm not sure what else in this area would make some ambient noise. If we go out of range, does it disappear when we're outside of the sound range? It appears to be staying there. Okay, that is... Oh, there it goes. It's gone now. Okay, so that's probably the sound range. That's really cool. That's very, very useful. Let's turn that thing off. I really like this mod. I've got to say these things are very, very cool. So, let's go down below and move on to the next thing. Although we still need to upgrade this a little bit further, actually. That's why we made all of those capacitor things. And, of course, it's equipped on my head. So, let's see. We've got the first level. The second level is this one, I think. Oh no, it's not actually, it's this one right here. The first level's that item over there, the vibrant crystal. So that one will take it up to 15,000 RF. And the next level is... Let's have a look. I think all it does is increase the RF. I don't think it does anything else. So 25,000, and then the last one is going to be 100,000, I think. There we go. Very, very cool stuff. I like this very much. We've got to charge that up, of course. Let's move on to the chest plate next, because all of these have loads of awesome features. So, what goes on this one? I've completely forgotten. It actually tells us if we hold down shift. So glider. We're not actually going to do the glider. We've already got one, but I didn't think it was worth adding to the armor since I don't use it too often. What am I doing now? The legs are next. This one has some really cool stuff on, I'm pretty sure. So let's add that right there. And we should be able to see what else we can add. Okay, so we can add speed. And I think the jump boost one goes on the boots. So we'll add the speed potion. You can add 3 different levels of this. And it doesn't seem to accept this. Not sure why. I had trouble using this before in a crafting recipe, so maybe we'll skip that one for now, and I'll come back to that in a second once I can get that to work. Okay, so this one, piston and flippers. And the piston should add something that allows us, I think, to climb up blocks. So that's going to add, yeah, it's going to add jump, increase step and jump height. So let's just add all 3 levels of this and see if this does what I think it does. And why don't we add the lily pad as well? That allows you to move a little faster in water. There we go. So we've got all of those features on there now, and we do need to toggle this with the controls again. So I brewed up some vanilla speed potions, and they seem to be fine. Those other ones were ones I found in dungeons. So now we have the speed thing on here, and I've been playing around with it. I think it's this button. There we go, speed active. And when we disable it, we're moving at the same speed. So let's move without it. And then enable it. Doesn't seem to be making a difference, so maybe I'm doing something wrong there. Then the other upgrade that we had was the step assist, so let's turn that on. It was already on. You can go up half a block like this in vanilla Minecraft, but then with this thing added you can go up like that. Now there were 3 of these upgrades, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think they affect the step assist, because you can see we can't go any higher than 1. And I think what they do affect is the jump thing. So if you have a look, it's on the boots, isn't it? Increases step, so that's already done, and then jump height allows triple jumps. Oh, it increases the jump height as well. That doesn't feel any higher, does it? Let's, oh, it's already enabled. Okay, and I tried playing around with the triple jump stuff, but it wasn't happening. Even though we got these angel wings on, if I took them off, it didn't seem to allow us to do the triple jumping stuff. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I've got a feeling it might be because they need power. So I'm going to finish upgrading these, put some power on them, and we'll check it out. Our armour is now fully upgraded and fully charged as well, and this means that the speed and the jump boost thing works. So when I jump, there you go, that's a lot higher than normal. We can also double and triple jump. This is probably not the best place to do it, and it doesn't make the biggest difference either, but here we go. 1, 2, 3, and you can kind of see you get a little boost. So that's alright, that's okay. And then speed we can toggle with this button. Yep, I remembered it, and you can see we go a little bit faster than usual. It does change our field of view by a fair bit as well. So there you go, there's that. And I was just thinking, I'm not sure if the dark steel itself, like the base value for the armour, is actually stronger than what we had before. Now I've added the enchantments as well to each of these, so that's going to make them a lot better. But the key thing in here is that they use RF power, and that's to stop the durability from being destroyed. So I'm not sure if it's actually stronger armour overall than what we had before, but it does have some other perks. So maybe a combination of both will be the best one at this point in the game. And by the way, our soul binder has finished doing its thing. In here we have somewhere, I'm not sure where the other one is actually. There it is. We've got a horse spawner and a pig spawner. We need to combine those with powered spawners, and we're going to do that in the next episode because I spent quite a bit of time on the armour. But the next one we might be going to the Twilight Dimension as well. Not really sure what's going to happen at the moment. But that is it for this episode. Check out our fancy new armour. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.